The Ravens Flock presents The Black Files, an uncensored interview and review podcast for all geek fandom.
Holy cow! Yeah, we're here. We're live. Welcome everybody, friends, friends, gals, guys, gals, non-binary pals, boys and girls all around the world. Pop a squat, pop open a cold one with all your friends. It is Wednesday night. You found me, I found you. We are together at long last after a little while, and I'd like to welcome you once again to a brand new live edition of The Black Files. Welcome everybody to the uncensored, unedited, unscripted, uncompromising podcast of the Ravens Flock, The Black Files. I'm your host, Juan Arauz, one of the heads of Ravens Flock. Down in the little corner over here that I'm poking at is Angel Mendez. Joining us via Zoom, as they used to like to say, by a satellite. Well, kind of, because he uses satellite internet. Fun fact. Where zeros and ones and the powers of beep boops that go up in space that are hiding the remains of the JD AI that runs the planet, hidden as space debris. And along with that, it uses wavy waves of electronics and soundy sounds to give you back your zeros and ones and beep boops that you can listen into and watch right now. Folks, thank you for joining in tonight on this edition of the Black Files. As you can tell from the title, we're actually going to be discussing some current events in the world of entertainment. I said this to Angel earlier. What is it that one of our favorite authors would say? Let us sit upon the ground and tell sad stories of the death of kings. Folks, let us tell you a sad story. The sad story of the leaked pilot script to the live-action reboot of the Powerpuff Girls. I'm over here fucking eating a little Ferrero Rocher. It's comfort. I need comfort food.
Juan requires comfort food for the shit you gotta deal with. So, for those of you who don't know, or those of you in the middle of the particularly heavy rock, the Powerpuff Girls is an adorable and yet incredibly kick-ass cartoon made by Craig McCracken all the way back in, what year was it again?
It was 1994 and 1996. I don't remember which of the two.
1994. And as the narration goes, sugar, spice, and everything nice. These were the ingredients to create the perfect little girl. But one day, by accident...
Nope, 1996. I mean, 1998, my bad.
Anyway, Professor Utonium accidentally added chemical X, which was a miscellaneous substance that has all sorts of weird properties, as many as the plot demands, and created...
And thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born! Using their ultra superpowers, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup.
Save Townsville from the forces of evil, as narrated by Tom Kenny. He ran for several seasons. He was some wonderful episodes and some incredibly good humor. The beauty of the show constructed with the fact that the girls and the setting have very cutesy, child-friendly designs and incredibly brutal, not quite child-friendly violence. In fact, in the original prototype, the cartoon's name was the Whoop-Ass Girls, but that one went through.
Namely, because instead of a bottle of chemical X, he accidentally added a can of whoop-ass. Thus, the whoop-ass girls were born.
Chemical X might as well be ass-kicking the cat. So, there you have it. Very simple premise, some very good jokes, surprisingly good animation, and some nightmarishly good episodes with some amazing... Seriously, anybody who hasn't seen that show, go check it out and check out the movie. It's fantastic. But the show had its run. The original creators left after a while. It ran for a couple of seasons, then wrapped itself into a couple of movies, and ended. And everybody was just kind of happy to let it be. Unfortunately, we live in today's AAA entertainment industry that doesn't have a single goddamn original thought in their body. If they can copy something, they're gonna copy something even worse. And with the surprising amount of these needs that Riverdale started, there has been a bizarre running around TV networks. So inevitably, somebody was gonna throw some shit and try to get their grubby, stinking hands on the Powerpuff Girls, which they did.
And thus they
They
did.
had
Am I just gonna have you on talking? Can I fucking talk too, man? I was about to say.
sorry,
Yeah, you got caught up in it. Like I kind of wanted to say stuff too, but no, you know what? You finish. Go ahead. You finish.
oh well, I was just gonna close it off by saying that yes, we knew there was a rumor they were working on the show, and let's be honest, public opinion of the show was already zero and counting. Nobody wanted this, let's be honest. And then something amazing happened. Some brave soul leaked the script of the first episode.
It's so horrible. It is so horrible. I can't even.
For the record, we thought it was fake until it was taken down by copyright strike, which means all the bullshit that we read in the last 51 pages is 100% legit. So Juan, I sent that to you like when you were in lunchtime. How was that?
Yeah, like, and you guys say I take too long in setups. Oh fucking god! I got the fucking script last night. Rather, no, yesterday afternoon. And I do have to also get into our, plugs for the show. Don't forget, folks, this is an uncensored podcast. This is an uncensored, uncompromising items. We will be discussing spoilers, especially considering that this script got leaked. We're not the first ones to talk about this, but you better believe we're going to have the worst time at it. So you better believe that. There's also going to be, swearing and discussions of opinions that you may or may not share. And that's just par for the course. That's how the Ravens Flock rolls, especially on the Black Files. If that's not something that you're all too interested in, go ahead, tune out now. Go find something safe for your binky buy and all that shit. Other than that, keep tuning in. I have to confess to you, Angel, I was scared of reading the fucking thing. As a matter of fact, so much so to the point that I didn't get around to it until about 11 p.m. last night. And even then, I only read through half of the script. Literally, like, page 36 of 61 pages until I went, nope. I went fucking nope.
Think about that for a second. This is the same man that will force himself to see the worst possible movies in the world just so he can give an accurate, proper critique of them. And he has to stop halfway through, essentially going, no, I am dealing with this. I can't. And Jesus fucking Christ, did it hurt.
It was so...
I
okay.
found out that it was deleted. I scoured the internet trying to find somebody to send it to me. And some brave soul... Actually, you know what? Let me drop her name real quick.
Are we... Hold on. Are we sure... Hold on. Hold the fucking phone for a minute. Do we want to make... Are we sure we want to go ahead and give out the identity of someone who's got the fucking script? Like, they got copyright pulled by fucking... What's their face? But what's up?
Oh yeah, but they don't have it on their website or something. You just ask them for it, they'll just send it to you. They have it saved.
Okay, that's still not something that I don't know is a good idea to fucking, like, go ahead and give out the identity.
Then I'll just drop the abbreviated name just in case someone looks for it. It's just Great Rick, and he's somewhere on Twitter. And that kind soul was nice enough to give me an entire copy of the script, send it to me, and yeah, we had the joy of perusing through several pages of what I can genuinely call the worst writing I have seen in a long time. By the way, guess who's directing this crap?
Who's directing it? I know that the pilot script was written by Diablo Cody and Heather Rainier. Is that how that's pronounced? Regnier. Rainier. Okay, Diablo Cody is the lady who wrote the movie Juno. But I'm like thinking,
So she's perfect for this role.
no, see here. That's just it. Like, how did this happen? Like, Juno came out and it was actually a fucking success. It was like people actually enjoyed the movie and it was like smart. This is not smart. It's very referential and with dated shit in it, but it's not smart in any way, shape, or form. How?
Well, you see, Juan, the reason why this is not smart is because this is show. And as you know, in Hollywood, people don't know how TV works. In fact, most people in Hollywood don't know how anything works. So they see the Powerpuff Girls show and they think of two ways of doing it. Either they try to rip it up to the best of their ability, or they try to relentlessly shit on the original concept. You notice that? That is a very bad trope of like Western animation or Western live action. Anytime they try to bring up something that used to be seen as a cartoon, they always try to pull off either the we are too mature and serious to take this seriously, or they go for the route of let's just shit on it relentlessly and completely. Like we cannot fucking take anything on the nose. Everything has to be a non-stop elbow to your knee. Haha, get it? Also, you could tell by the jokes that some of this stuff was being written like 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
More like 4. More like 4 fucking years ago. Okay. Okay, one. Okay, one of the first things that really ground my gears. This thing really grinds my gears. Professor Utonium, the super. No. Hold the phone. You're gonna. Professor Utonium, the mad scientist, well, not really mad, the super genius super scientist who created the Powerpuff Girls using super science and sugar spice everything nice and chemical X by accident. He had no first name in the entirety of every single interpretation of the Powerpuff Girls. Even when Cartoon Network tried to do the reboot and modernize him a little bit, he still did not have a first name. But for this... Or Professor Utonium. Yeah, and they would just call him that, or, Professor or Daddy, whatever the fuck. And this is so edgy, the Edgehog, and so dark and grimdark and Edge and Dark Souls. They gave him the first name. No. You're ready for this. They gave him the first name. Drake. Drake Utonium. Yeah.
And let's not forget that they also blackwashed him.
Wait, what? No, they didn't. What?
He's black.
What, in the friggin' Powerpuff Girl thing? What?
Yeah, he's black on this one.
Did I miss that? What page is that in? Shit!
Oh man, I'm afraid. I think it's on like the first 3 pages. And speaking of the pages of Professor Utonium, you can tell right off the bat that the narrative is falling to pieces, because the narrative tells you the reason why he never tried to make little girls the normal way is because he was too busy with his science to worry about a relationship. But in the script, it says that he's in a relationship with Miss Bellum.
With Miss Sarah Bellum later on, he dates her.
So either you are too busy for a relationship or you are not. You don't get too busy for a relationship while also having a relationship.
Exactly.
Based on real life experience, that's usually how relationships end.
Also, of course, one of the other stupid things that they did, of course, they made Mojo Jojo the arch enemy of the Powerpuff Girls. Very arguably, almost, actually, you know what? Not arguably, definitively, for anyone who was a fan. Like, he was their #1 supervillain. He was like their #1 arch rival, and they even had a history like, he was a lab monkey who was an assistant to fucking Utonium, and the same explosion that birthed the girls also enhanced his brain, and that's why he has a glass jar on his head and he's got an evil cape. They made him into just a regular dude, just a human guy, just some guy, and he's not even. And it's not even like an interesting guy or whatever. Like, he's a gawking, cowering lab partner. What the fuck? Why is he cowering? What is he just like hiding in the back or whatever? He's just like little fucking what's it called? Like fucking Igor or whatever. What the fuck is this, man?
He was. Oh my god! And yes, he's going to be played by Donald Faison. Look at the picture of him.
Wait, Donald Faison was gonna play Mojo. You're right. Oh God. Or was that?
No, that's Utonium.
What? Ah. Okay. No. All right. No. You know, for the record. Okay. No. You know, for the record, that would have actually been cool because he's a funny actor. Okay. I said this to you privately before we got started, but I'm going to say this right now. The one thing that they could have possibly done in order to take this entire live-action reboot series idea and actually fixed it in a way that would have made people not cringe, instead of it being super dark, super grim, super real, super adult, and super not for kids, slutty, disgusting sex drama like CW did to Riverdale, a fucking Archie Comics. Instead of going that route, go the 100% the opposite route. Make it a comedy. Make it a comedy. Make it the fact that, okay, you have girls who have superpowers, who were born, sprung out of nothing, out of a fucking lab. And obviously Donald Faison, he's already got comedic acting chops like a motherfucker. It would have been fine. Don't try to play that shit straight with me. It gets dumber. It gets dumber.
I'm trying to say better because if I actually describe the proper terms, I'm gonna get suspended.
Okay, people would have to go out of their fucking way to have you distracted. Hold on a minute. Apparently, oh hey, we got our man. Let me see here. Let me actually check something. Oh no, fucking wonder. I am so sorry, Angel. No one's been able to hear you since we started. Fuck.
Oh damn!
That's
for
me.
Real.
It's been a while since
That's
I did.
Disappointing.
It's been a while since I've had you on
It's been a
Zoom.
while since we done this.
That's on me. All right, and that would be
my
Sid
bad.
Vicious on the chat. Is it just me or can nobody hear Angel? Sorry about that. Thank you for pointing
Hello,
that out.
Sid.
That's my stupidity. But yeah, no, it's.
Well, now.
Oh God.
So yeah, the black dude from Scrubs was going to be Professor Utonium, and honestly, you are right. Given his acting chops, he would have done a good character. Except his role in the actual show would have placed him as one of the most unlikable fuck-ups that the entire franchise has created.
Yep.
Because in this version of the Powerpuff Girls, Professor Utonium, based on what the script is showing me, is an emotionally manipulative piece of shit that essentially sold the rights to the girl's likeness to create a TV show, the actual TV show, and
the original cartoon. So in this universe, the actual original cartoon of the Powerpuff Girls was nothing more than an advertising marketing scheme to promote the real life Powerpuff Girls. So we're saying that Craig McCracken, he did not spring this forth himself. He did not fucking create this himself. He was hired by Professor Utonium to do a cartoon of the Powerpuff Girls, and that generated money for everyone. And that brings.
Oh, and here's the part that gets genuinely. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that brings the silliness of the fucking cartoon itself to one very acute point. Now, I just gotta say, what do you call it? I gotta say, for the record, I have no problem with the way they cast these young ladies in this fucking show. I was actually like, you know what? Fine, let's go ahead and see what these girls look like and who's acting them. For Blossom, they had Chloe Bennett, the best girl of the Marvel TV universe. She was Agent Daisy Johnson, aka Quake, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She started off as Sky.
I knew she looked
that's
familiar
her, dude. Dude, like,
man, what a fucking downgrade.
No, if anyone was going to be like a good like actress, like, okay, you know what? I trust Chloe Bennett. She's like a fucking heroine to me. I don't care. I would have been okay with that. For Bubbles, they cast Dove Cameron, who already she looks like she's like baby-faced 12 years old all the time. Like, even though she's like 22 or something. I don't fucking know. I don't pay attention to those stuff. But like, obviously, like, very baby-faced, very cutesy, whatever. And they cast Yana Peralt as Buttercup. She's a black chick. She's clearly got fighting experience behind her, and she's a damn good dramatic actress as well. So you have the makings of what could be an interesting cast. And I didn't really give a shit that they made Buttercup black for this live action thing. Fine. Okay. Go ahead. I don't care. Let's see how that rolls. And the fact that they had Donald Faison playing Professor Utonium, like, okay, he's black too. Maybe it's an expression like, okay, that maybe he would have a closer affinity to Buttercup or something like that, or she would have a closer affinity to them. No, it's the opposite. The fact that the cartoon exists and that means that Buttercup was quote unquote whitewashed to be white, and everyone was made white in the cartoon, and there, was like a fucking sticking point.
Yes,
for
and that's
Buttercup's
the part
characters.
that
Like,
pisses me off the most.
Like, dude, that was a horrible fucking. That was a horrible fucking thing that you let that cartoonist asshole do. You made her white. You made me white. He made you white. That's fucking racist, and that's fucking stupid. I'm like, okay, where do I fucking start?
I am laughing through the pain because I am actually fucking insane.
I ran out of
when I got
I
to
did
that
not get
point,
enough Ferrero Rocher for myself to get through this shit, man.
Please.
I only got a little 3-pack.
Okay, so but wait, that particular moment we speak of takes place in what page is this? Page 41 of the script.
40.
And I'm going to read it to you because I need you to experience experience this pain with me.
And let me give a little disclosure.
Sure.
Let me give a little disclaimer here right now for anyone who might be listening or watching, who may or may not be working for a certain television conglomerate network or whatever. What we are doing right now is journalistic criticism for educational and entertainment purposes, meaning that any and all discussion regarding a script, regardless of its legitimacy or not, falls within fair use. If you are a YouTube reviewer, a live human being reviewing, remember that this portion of the program in its entirety, actually this program in its entirety, the discussions that we have fall under fair use. Do not try and strike this down. Do not try and get this removed. We are having a discussion over a current event which for the majority of the online community already knows about. This is just a discussion that's being had, and we're recreating and speaking of things that is already public knowledge. You said page 40. With that disclosure out of the way, and I'm going to update the description for this live stream to include our fair use disclosure. Please. With all that out of the way, feel free. Go ahead.
So, before we start, I'd like to say that, honestly, I always thought Buttercup looked more like an Asian girl because of the way her haircut was shaped, So I always felt like that would have worked better. We have a perfectly good minority here. We don't need to replace them with another one. But whatever, that's semantics.
No, they were all
now,
white,
this takes place supposedly on the scene. Yeah, I know, but I don't know. Buttercup always struck me as the Asian. The scrappy tomboy with the shiny black hair and the kind of a bowl cut. Maybe that was just me. Anyway, so we get to the part where apparently the girls are trying to find out what happened to the money and inheritance they were making. And Drake says, look, this isn't easy for me to say. I saw how hard you girls worked, how brave you were in all those battles, and I wanted to maximize your earnings. So I made some investments.
What did you invest in,
what
Dad?
What did you invest in, Dad? And Drake, well, some real estate in 2008, and then fidget spinners. Have you guys heard of Cronuts? And Blossom gets pissed and goes, the money's gone.
And you knew it about it? This is what Hollywood producers pay for. Mistypings. The money's gone and you knew it about it? ? Why did you make us come out here? ? It's two things. It's ! If you're typing that, and the sentence, and you knew it about it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what fucking Hollywood pays for.
Yeah.
This is why you go over your script and you fucking review things, man.
Okay,
but that's me. That's me. Sorry, I'm an actual writer who gives a shit about having their stuff come out right.
Well, see, that's why you will never work in Hollywood, because you actually care. Stop caring right now, you piece of shit.
No. Fuck you, I care.
No, I truly believe disaster is imminent. And Buttercup replies, you're mentally ill. This is why we don't call you or visit you.
Yeah.
And she picks up a base. And I'm like, oh, wow. So now the super powerful woman is about to assault the crazy old man. Fucking great. And then Buttercup holds off the base. And then Bubbles throws the chair through the wall and goes, what about me? flinging the woolly bear. I always believed in you and defended you, Dad. Even when you sold away our likeness to that cartoon, which, by the way, totally whitewashed us. Even then, I had your back. I always had a smile on my face. I never broke character, even though it was so much more to me. Really? I always put a family of the team first, no matter. I fucking can't go.
For the record, that's Bubbles talk about whitewashing,
this is what they think drama looks like. Holy shit!
I can't even.
Blossom literally says a paragraph later, "You stole my childhood. Because of you, I killed Mojo, and it ruined my life. Do you even care?"
Drake is
cool.
Drake is silent. We see a moment of yellow glint in his eyes, but Blossom doesn't see it. Cool, got it. I never want to see you again. She exits as we end of Act 3.
You honestly expect me to take any of the... Please remember, this is not a parody. This is not being done for the sake of comedy. This is supposed to be taken 100% seriously, and this is what I have to laugh to hide the pain.
We got the Melon Man in the chat. Hey. Hello, Melon Man. Thank you for joining us. He said they did my boy Ace bad, man. Jose came in. He said, good disclaimer, Juancho. Let's see if anyone listens, LOL. And Melon Man said, please don't tell me that was an actual line from the script. Fine, we won't tell you.
It is. I won't tell you, but you'll wake up at night in a cold sweat and you'll know it's the truth. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Ace. Honestly, every character that has not been twisted into a cruel parody of themselves has been rewritten until they no longer resemble what they're supposed to be. And see, this is the part that I have to fucking get angry, because the fact that they had the balls to not only say that they are the original, that the cartoon is a fake, a promotion, a fib. They are literally taking history and saying, that doesn't matter. We are the only thing that matters. And the fact that they had their balls to accuse Gray McCracken of whitewashing, it feels like going to a church and pissing in front of the statue of Jesus, man. You know, you just don't do that. I understand you want to do your own thing and play by your own rules, but by doing this kind of shit, you are essentially telling your audience two things. A, you hold absolutely no respect for the source material, and B, you hold diversity in account far more important than the faithfulness of the characters you're trying to cast. I can't. Man.
I actually got something here. Now that I'm actually reading, I was actually reading it over. I've actually got a thing here. You know that one thing that's missing on the internet all the time, every single time I fucking get on, and I try to point it out, but everyone keeps shutting me the fuck down because I actually try to make a point. You remember what it's called?
Context? Common
Nuance.
Sense?
Okay.
Oh, no, we don't do that anymore.
Okay, no, I fucking do that. So
Nuance died with Corona Chan.
Angel, I'm going to fucking say something over here. Now, check this out. Number one. The line about whitewashing didn't come from Buttercup, like everyone's saying. Buttercup, who was the character, came from Bubbles. It came from Bubbles.
Somehow that makes it even worse.
Who we see here, who's basically like she's put out as like a 25-year-old like D-list washed up actress, like on the veins of like Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan shit. The only difference is, like in real life, Paris Hilton's actually smarter than she looks, so she's actually done proper business shit for herself. It's more like very early crash of Lindsay Lohan, where it's very much like crashing parties and fucking getting wasted.
That's the one I was thinking of. Thank you.
Now,
people keep forgetting Paris Hilton is actually so very smart.
Yeah, no, she's actually much, much smarter than people give her credit for. Now, like we said, nuance and context is what is over here. She's saying, I always believed in you, Dad, when you sold away our likeness to that cartoon, which, by the way, totally whitewashed us. Even then, I had your back. I always had a smile on my face. I never broke character, even though there was so much more to me. I always put family and the team first, no matter what. Get this. Everyone's immediately, just like you're over here cringing, Angel, everyone's over here hollering, okay, they're talking about diversity, they're talking about racial diversity, they're talking about, the fact that Utonium and Buttercup were black in real life, but they made them white. She's not just talking about racial whitewashing. She's talking about personality whitewashing. Bubbles is over here trying to say that she had a lot more depth to her than just being perky and cutesy and everyone loves me. I'm the cute one. I'm going to be the prettiest girl at the party. She's trying to say, like, I had so much more to offer and so much more to give, but none of that got translated in. There's more to Buttercup and there's more to Blossom, but you let everyone lump us into these categories of like, okay, she's the leader, she's the tough one, she's the cute one, and that's all there is. That's whitewashing as well. Everyone immediately assumes that whitewashing is only referring to skin color and racial identity. That's not always the case. There's also about personality. In this case, it's Bubbles, Miss drunken party diva girl, hollering and freaking out. She's the one shouting this shit as it being not just racial whitewashing, but also whitewashing their character and their personality. So take fucking that. Look at that expression.
That literally makes
sense.
That makes no fucking sense to me, though.
How does it not make sense?
Does it? Because that is essentially just because that is literally implying that white people have no personalities. Are you sure you're going with the right definition on this one?
I'm not saying the definition that everyone's saying over here is wrong. I'm saying there's more to that, and people aren't bringing attention to that. Of course, the
deliberately attempting to conceal or unpleasant or indiscriminating facts about something or someone. I'm not sure this. I'm sorry, man. I don't know where you got this particular definition there because
Angel, no,
I
that's
am
the
not
same.
landing at this.
That's the definition that's going on. That they're basically like trying to hide away anything that might be uncomfortable or unpleasant or like undesirable. Let me give you an example that we can very easily fucking do. Like us three, the Ravens flock, you, me, Jose.
Yes.
Obviously there's more to him and there's more to you and there's more to me, but as far as the internet goes, as far as anyone who just wants to like quickly identify or whatever, it's going to be Jose's the tall bald one with the dark sunglasses, and he's the one in charge. Angel is the loud Cuban man with the loud Cuban voice and has no filter. Juan is the neurotic filmmaker guy with the glasses and doesn't shut up. Like, there's more to us.
Okay, I know where you're coming from now.
Yes, okay, you get it now. There's more to us than just lumping into simplified categories. Now, obviously, the problem with this, with the line of whitewashing on here, obviously the first thing people immediately go to is, okay, it's race because Buttercup is black here.
Kind of hard to not jump to that when you see the change of the actual characters' races. But I know exactly where you're coming from with that.
With the context of it, it's not Buttercup making that argument or expounding explicitly on that. It's Bubbles, and she's saying it in the context of her personality, how there's more to them, but she didn't. But she was a good little girl, and she did what Daddy asked of her, and let everyone just lump them into these categories. That's the context in its entirety.
That's good.
See what I mean here? Folks need to have depth in their conversation. Here's some depth for you motherfuckers. I hope you brought some floaties up in this bitch. Oh, fucking.
By the way, you do realize that by applying context and nuance, you just made the show. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was about to say, Melonman says it's also tiresome. We're getting canceled. Please. Have you any idea what kind of assholes come after the Ravens flock? They've been trying to cancel us for ages. And the funny thing is, the people who run the conventions that try to get us canceled, they're going under. Those cons have gone before we did.
We outlasted them, and we will outlast everyone else. But you know what the best part is about this entire mess, Juan? The fact that now that you use that term to add nuance to the prospect actually makes the show look even worse.
I know! It's so horrible!
Let me tell you a little something. How many seasons did the Powerpuff Girls have? 6 seasons. Now, here's the beautiful thing. You are correct. Whitewashing can be used as a term to take away a person's other's personality aspects and reduce them or wash them down to their most basic personality traits. The thing is, the cartoon show went out of its way to show that there was much more to the girls than just the basic traits of the personalities. But, and you are correct, my friend, here's where I'm going to take a page of your book and add nuance.
Enjoy it.
The aspects of their core personality were still a part of them, because at the end of the day, you are correct. There's more to a person than they seem. But the aspects of our personality that we show the most often are the ones that are most intrinsically embedded in ourselves. So yes, Blossom is the bossy commander and the leader, and Bubbles is the joy and the laughter, and Buttercup is the toughest fighter, because those are...
We all know the song. Angel, you just dropped out.
So
Give me a minute.
Personality...
Can you repeat that? Can you repeat what you said just now after the Buttercup thing? Because your internet connection is really horrible, man. Like, do me a favor.
Sorry,
I don't know if you have... I don't know if you have your if you have anyone else on your internet on there, tell them to get the fuck off. That way you actually come through clearer, please.
I have to actually find a way to get an extension to connect my desktop to the Ethernet cable. I'll get on that soon, I promise. So going back to it, can you hear me now? Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you much better right now.
So going back to the important part. So the girls' personalities have their basic core tenets. And to them, we get the usual drama of the cartoon. But we get to see that there's more to them, and they undergo their own little changes. Those core tenets of their personality are used to develop both good points and bad points about them. That's how I usually get the lesson of the day. But this show, by essentially saying they have been whitewashed, is taking their core tenets of personality and treating them as if they were a bad thing. And that is ultimately the reason why the dark and cynical route fail time and time again.
You're cutting out bad, man.
They look at the core of what made the show and what's going on. Hang on, let me check the connection.
Yes, please, because I've got the little bar over here under your thing, and it is blood red. It's like Angel's connection is extremely low.
Like my opinion of this shitty show.
Yeah, see, there you go again. Network bandwidth is low. God.
What do you mean? What's going on? Like, my connection seems to be okay. Can you hear me okay?
Okay, I can kind of hear you right now, but when you go on into a tangent, you like you just got derezzed.
Okay, let's try that again. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so let me go through a quick sentence and tell me if this actually can be heard. Listen, I'm not saying Batman's kind of an asshole, but sometimes Batman's kind of an asshole. And it should tell you something, the fact that Superman is the only friend that he truly considers his best friend, because Superman is basically fucking steel flying Jesus. Batman is kind of a prick sometimes, and we need to acknowledge that while he's a beautiful hero, worthy of admiration, of honor, his ability to be so incredibly antisocial is basically responsible for many of the personal problems he faces in life. Sometimes it feels like Batman doesn't actually be alone because of his enemies. He's alone because he keeps driving people away.
Yep, we got all that perfect. You went from red to yellow.
Okay.
That's a good sign.
Okay, so let me just condense what I said before. The reason why that part makes me so angry is because the script of the show treats the idea of the girl's core personality as if it was a bad thing, something to be ashamed of. Oh, you whitewashed us down. No, motherfucker. Your personality is a core of you. And yes, it can be rounded down to basic tenets because those are the building blocks of a person. But they took a look at the show. They took a look at the premise of Powerpuff Girls, at the characters, at what makes them their center, their core, and they decided to act like it was something to be ashamed of instead of being something that you could build upon. You know, they are treating the old show like it was an old shame. And that is genuinely disgusting and disrespectful to the work that Craig McCracken did.
It is so fucking stupid. You know? It is so dumb. And even the dumb little bits
so
on there.
So fucking stupid.
Like, even the dumb little bits on this that everyone knows about. Like, okay, they made Bubbles into a fucking, like, skanky McSkanker bitch. Like, constantly getting drunk and getting, like, but, like, I'm sorry, I'm over here, like, is it wrong for me to assume that if you're a superhuman, like, superpowered human being of superness and superpowerliness, don't you think that you'd have a little better blood alcohol tolerance? Like, blood alcohol levels? Like,
you would think so, right?
Wouldn't you have to be drinking pure, like, isopropyl alcohol to get a buzz or something? Maybe that's me. I don't know. That's maybe an assumption that I've made.
They can get punched through a mountain and come off unscathed. You think their alcohol tolerance will be a little higher, right?
You're right, exactly.
Right?
Like that's my fucking thing. Like, okay, like that direction for Bubbles doesn't really kick for me. It doesn't really click here. She seems like okay. She has moments like in the cartoon. She has moments where instead of being like super cutesy and super like shy and a little baby, she like matures the fuck up and she owns up and she steps up to shit. Yeah, when she gets super pissed and super angry. Like,
oh yeah, no,
that's a little depth.
She has the second worst temper after Buttercup herself.
Right, exactly. Like she's actually got a temper on her ass. She's got a wild hair up her ass, which is fucking cool.
Exactly. Also, don't you find it incredibly disturbing that we took Professor Utonium, one of the kindest, most well-beloved father figures in cartoon history, and the second we made him black, he became an emotionally manipulative piece of shit?
Fucking hell! Please don't tell. Like, does
Jesus,
that,
man!
Like, even that bit could make it fucking kind of racist. Like, oh, great. Like, even a fucking super genius, super scientist, if he's a black man, then automatically makes him a deadbeat dad or whatever. Like, do you have any idea how fucking horrible that is? Do you have, like,
why are they doing that?
I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, it's
that is
terrible.
horrible. Now that you bring that up, like, good God, I swear to God. But then again, that's another problem of, oh, we're using stereotypes to lump shit in. One thing that folks, at like one of the writers, Diablo Cody, one of the things that they falter on, which it apparently due to this pilot is very well earned, is that she very heavily relies on cliches and references. One of the fucking lines on here was a discussion between Bubbles and Buttercup about Blossom showing up, and I kid you not, they make Bubbles sound like she came out of MySpace in 2004. Like fucking, what do you call it?
Oh God, I remember that.
They say like, oh well, I saw on her on her Facebook that that she got a new man. I saw her on LinkedIn that she got a promotion. And Buttercup's like, oh yeah, I bet if she came back here, she'd be triggered again. She's like, why? Because she and Buttercup's like, what? No, and Bubble's like, why? Because she killed Mojo. I mean, like, moveon.org, like.
Oh God! I thought the worst part was the Harambe joke, but clearly I was not prepared for that part. Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, by the way, folks, Blossom killed Mojo.
The fact that the moment. Oh yeah, by the way, Blossom just fucking murdered the guy. Remember, Mojo is not a monkey in this continuity. He's a human being. So she just straight up murked the dude. And somehow his son became the mayor.
The mayor of Townsville. And his son, I shit you not, his son's name is Jojo. Jojo references. Fucking hell. He's literally a Jojo reference.
This is not worth a Jojo reference. No, this is not worth a JoJo reference, and I refuse to give them that credit. They don't deserve it. Oh, by the way, let's not forget, they took Buttercup, and for starters, she's lesbian now, and she embodies almost every single negative stereotype about lesbians I ever seen.
Like, they have her be super mega against heterosexuality, which I'm like, okay, I've met one person who's a total asshole. Like, and people say, oh, but this person's so sweet. You're being homophobic. I'm like, no, I'm not being homophobic. This person literally shits on this person when I knew them. They shat on me being married to K-Store, my wife, who's female and presents as female. Like, of course they identify as like non-binary and shit, but that's my wife's business. The point is like, oh, you guys have a straight marriage, that's not gonna last, but I'm gonna go get gay married with this guy I picked up at the bar, and it's so much better than you guys. I'm like, you got to remember, asshole comes in all sorts of different colors of the rainbow as well. Don't be an asshole. Like,
please don't be an asshole.
There's the thing with Buttercup is that they actually have, like, she has probably a more interesting development with how she handles the breakup of the Powerpuff Girls. She's like, I'm going into anonymity. I'm gonna fly off to the fucking Ozarks or whatever. No, like the Pacific Northwest, either in Washington or in Oregon, one of those two. And she works as a firefighter. She works as a firefighter in a small town and just like keeping her head down, minding her business, living her life. Like, okay, that's fine. That way she could still be a superhero without being a fucking superhero, because she still has that need to help people. They have a little scene where where Buttercup saves a kid from the second floor or like third floor or whatever in a building that's on fire, and she's like, and the kid asks her like, oh wait, I thought you guys need to use ladders. This will be our little secret, kid. Hey, do you want to see me use my magic and blow away the fire? Oh yeah, that'll be fun. And her teammates come in with the fire hose, like, maybe next time. Like,
never mind.
Like,
to be fair,
that
though,
wouldn't
do that immediately draw attention?
Well,
it is. Honestly, those are one of the few times that we get to see the actual heroes in there. But, you know, before being drowned by a fucking tidal wave of cynicism.
Of stupidity.
Things. No, Juan, this is the definition of fun is not allowed anymore. This script is the antithesis of anything you would write. Think about it. This entire script is literally, we're going to take the characters and twist them into cruel parodies of themselves. We're going to rip away any charm from the original. We're going to take away any interesting good things about them. And we're going to just drown them in the cynicism of sex and the city. This is literally no fun allowed.
No, fun is allowed. No.
Oh man. Well,
you know what? I'm glad that
not in the CW is not.
Oh no. You know what? No, here's what you fucking do. Like if the fucking CW, the reason why this script is no longer found on the internet is that the CW put a copyright claim on the leaked script. They could have denied that was a script. They could have said, "Oh, this is an early draft." But no, the first fucking page reads, I shit you not, big bold letters, The Powerpuff Girls, pilot, written by Diablo Cody and Heather Rainier, network revision, February 9th, 2021. That means...
Oh, it gets better.
That means that the fucking... these two writers worked it out this far. They handed it to the executives at the CW. They put their touches on it and said, "This is what we're going with. This is how we're going with it." I'm slapping to this desk anymore. Fuck. So don't fucking tell me.
The desk is suffering for our sins, but no, would you?
Like I'm just like, okay. So so as far as this fucking networks go, they could have gone and said, "Oh no, this is just a working thing." Nope. This is what they were fucking trying to shoot. Those leaked photos of the girls in the Powerpuff Girl costumes, that's what they were going to fucking film. Which, by the way, for the record, now that we realize that with the context of the script, that those shots that we have of the girls in the Powerpuff Girl dresses that look like bad cosplay, now that we know the context that was a flashback of them at 17.
Oh, that is painful.
No, I'm like, okay, no wonder it looks so fucking horrible that these girls are wearing a costume of outfits that no grown woman, if you're not going to like a fucking like bad Halloween party, would ever wear. Okay, that makes sense. That explains why like lovely Chloe Bennett, who took her beautiful brown and blonde highlighted hair, she dyed it ruby red. That explains that. That's why Dove Cameron, she's got herself in fucking ponytails. That's why fucking Yana Peralt has her hair like down in the shortcut that we've got as Buttercup. That's why these girls have them looking like really, really bad cosplay at a bad costume party, because this psychotic fucking Utonium is keeping them looking like mascots, like a fucking commercial. Like, okay, that explains it.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but that explains it. Real quick, Jose's over here saying...
It's bullshit, but I believe it.
Jose says on the chat, they're going to have to get up early in the morning to cancel us, LOL. LOL, bonus points for rhyming. LOL, alcohol tolerance, what's that? Jose, I get that you're trying to be supportive, but not everything is an LOL. Come on, man.
Yes, it is, because I'm laughing.
No, you're not.
Laughing on Ligma. Ligma balls.
You know that I wasn't going to fall for that. You knew that, right? I wasn't going to fucking fall for that.
Yes, but it was still funnier than that entire script. That being said, you're gonna fall for this though. See, since I cannot catch you with my balls joke, I'm going to make you even more depressed now. Guess what was the actual reason they took back that script?
Why? Go ahead, fill people in.
So apparently, this is a rumor that's going around, and I saw a report of it, but I can't find it anywhere. So I'm guessing they deleted that as well.
Maybe
the script that was released here was a prototype, which apparently was rejected because it was too campy and too on the nose, which means that the finished product is going to be even darker and edgier than we thought possible. I'm talking beyond Shadow the Hedgehog here. I'm talking beyond Linkin Park cover number 25. I'm going beyond fucking Metalocalypse season 4 levels of dark.
you're breaking up so
We're going
bad
into
that
the
you're.
night sky, baby. The vacuum of space ain't gonna be darker than this shit.
Oh my fucking god, this is so horrible
Can
that
you
you're
hear me now?
breaking up even more, man. What the fuck?
My
You know what?
internet signal cannot handle this level of edge. My lines are getting caught, man.
The only thing that I could do is play something that Lindsay Ellis was so kind as to slap together herself a year ago. And I've been tormenting K-Storm with this. And just to show you guys, yes, Lindsay Ellis put this up a year ago. So if anyone who needs to cry out in torment, here's the tune. I said, here's a fucking tune. Now the thing doesn't want to even play. Here we go.
Are you sure my internet is the one who phones?
It's a compilation from the big song of Jesus Christ Superstar. Everyone who's ever sung it.
Jeez.
I torment K-Storm with it whenever something terrible happens.
Well, something terrible is indeed worth calling Jesus for, because Jesus Christ. If you listen carefully, that is actually the echoes of my soul after I finish reading this garbage. So we have, first off, I would like to give my thanks to the brave soul that risked their job and career to leak this garbage into the world, just like the script of Last of Us.
You're breaking up again, Angel.
So now we can save ourselves the trouble of actually watching it. God damn it, what the hell's going on with this connection?
I have
Hang
no
on, can you
idea.
hear me
The
now?
CW is trying to hack your satellite.
Yes, they can't handle my opinions that are always right and 1,000,000% correct.
You know I absolutely hate it whenever you say that. You know that, right?
Yeah, because literally 5 minutes later, I'm proven right and we all regret it. It's terrible. I wish I wasn't right for once. I wish I could be wrong, bro.
Opinions in and of themselves are neither right nor wrong. They're just opinions. You just happen to have opinions that line up with facts that you can use. And so do I. That's why we argue.
Yeah,
But
well,
this
turns out
fucking
my
thing-
opinion aligns with the fact that this script is shit.
Like, I have, like, I know that I sound like a fucking broken record whenever I say, oh, I've written stuff.
Mhm.
But
It's cool, man. You got experience to work with. That's what matters.
I have written short film scripts. We actually produced a pilot many years ago for a web series that we wanted to produce before the Ravens flock took off. Just circumstances and money and people and shit just went out the window. But
It happens.
out of that fucking series, I had gone over the script 1,000,000 times to make sure that the dialogue made sense, make sure that the story made sense, to make sure that the notes that I wanted to hit with these things, whether it's a dramatic moment, a comedic moment, a somber moment, something in between moment, an action moment, whatever the fuck, that it all fucking made sense and had a purpose to push the story forward. I'm seeing here an attempt. An attempt was made. It wasn't very good. But an attempt was made. You know the fucking Bart Simpson joke of him bringing out a cake like at least you tried, and then him throwing
just
the fucking
tossing it
cake
in the
into
garbage.
the trash can. That's this.
That's basically what we had here then. So remember, the lesson is never try.
I can't.
I just can't get over the fact that they honestly wrote this down and they thought it was a good idea. Dude, the second I saw the Harambe joke, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a good trip, baby. And it just got worse and worse, sentence after sentence, because you can feel in every page the sheer disdain and contempt that the writers have for the source material they're working with. This is being written by someone who fucking hated the Powerpuff Girls, man. It feels like it is. How do you take the three sweet heroes and try to turn them into 6 cynical parodies of themselves and expect no lashback? How do you take Professor Utonium, one of the most beloved father figures in Western animation, and turn him into, well,
an asshole?
How do I even describe that?
Asshole.
No, this is beyond asshole. You turn him into a stereotype. You turn him into a racist stereotype.
What is it that you always try to tell me? Never ascribe to Malice where incompetence suits better. They're like
Razor's Occam's razor. So you're saying that this isn't just a slight. This is just people being fucking morons.
Yes, this is just people being stupid. One can't judge the heart of a person, of an artist, if they're working on someone else's work. You can't judge it off of liking or hatred. Because liking it or hating it doesn't come into the factor on this. What comes into it is, what sort of interpretation are they going to provide for this? People who fucking said, for example, to give you an example, Rian Johnson hates Star Wars, that's why he made The Last Jedi. No, quite the opposite. He did fucking research on like the expanded universe stuff for in order to get ideas, in order to bring stuff forward, and something like that just shows, at the very least, respect for the original material. What he did after that, you can interpret as, it's a giant subversion and it doesn't fit, or this is an interesting take and it scrambles the playing field so that we don't know what'll happen next. That way, it's actually interesting and exciting. You can make that interpretation, but malice or passion, that doesn't come into it. But what does come into it was respect. When folks were trying to say like, he just invented this projection hologram thing. No, he went into the old book of the Jedi Path, which is an expanded universe book of like different force techniques taught by the Jedi. It's like, okay, no, I'm going to my personal library. You remember we pulled this up when we reviewed it?
Yeah.
And he's like,
Disney makes it on canon until it's convenient, and then you can just use it.
Exactly. It's the same thing that they did when Star Wars Rebels brought back Grand Admiral Thrawn. They were like, okay,
yes,
we need a new
one of the best things they could have done, honestly.
But they brought back Grand Admiral Thrawn, and Thrawn was fucking brilliant in there, and they did a good job at it. Just like with Rian fucking Johnson, they're like, okay, I want to make this cool idea, but how do I pull it off? Okay, there's actually a precedent for this in old Star Wars lore. We'll go ahead and borrow on that. That shows respect. This isn't malice. This isn't hatred. It's a combination of incompetence and disrespect. Because
normally I agree with you. Sorry, go ahead. Then your eyes were done. Go ahead.
No, I was saying because they did not respect the original source material enough to try and build on what was created by Craig McCracken and by the original Powerpuff Girls animation series. And they were not competent enough to execute their failed interpretation. It's that simple.
See, normally I would agree with you, but that's the part of the script that makes me feel like this goes beyond disrespect. The part with the fucking cartoon and the whitewashing, because they're essentially saying that other thing doesn't matter. This is the only thing that matters. Say what you will about The Last Jedi and its good and bad points, but at no point did The Last Jedi go, the other movies never happened. This is the only thing that matters. The fact that the script has a specific line saying that the original cartoon was nothing more than merchandise propaganda, that's the part that pisses me off, because you're essentially unwriting the other show out of existence. You are acknowledging it exists only to tell the audience that it didn't. This isn't just using the old show to prop the new show up. This is literally saying that the old show never existed and the new one was the only one that was. And that speaks to me beyond disrespect. That speaks to me as just, I don't know, man. I won't describe it as hatred because it feels like a strong word, but it feels like a level of cynicism that is trying to erase the past.
Cynicism
You know?
is much more apt and much more accurate. To
Fucking
this,
Riverdale was a goddamn mistake, and every single consequence from the existence of that show has been a bigger and bigger mistake ever since. They are Riverdaleing this motherfucker as hard as they can.
You know the route that you take with this thing? Don't go the Riverdale route. Go the route of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Have you seen it, actually, Angel?
I checked out a couple of episodes. It was a lot better than what Riverdale did, but yes, you're correct. Embrace the camp. Put fucking Taika Waititi in this bitch. Essentially, the only way you can get the old fans to give a shit about this show is to bring to them the familiar. And if that means the over-the-top violence and comedy of the original show, you should do that. Do you honestly think that the people that grew up with the show want to see the show become as bitter and cynical as they are?
No.
Have you ever seen something like this succeed? Have you ever actually, you know what? Help me out here, Juan. Have you ever seen an old show be rebooted into a much more cynical new show actually succeed? Ever? I am genuinely curious. If anybody in the chat knows, let me know, because I want to know why they keep trying to do this shit and expect it to work.
I can't begin to fucking tell you. I cannot begin to fucking tell you. I swear to God, I wish I knew. I really do. Because these stories were here's what's up. We've had our fill of cynicism. We had it back in the fucking 60s and 70s.
God.
Like, we had really hard, really bad, like, dark and gritty stories back then. And we still, and to this day, we still have, like, other stories where there's more dramatic and it's more of a harder edge story over here. But you got to read the room. The entertainment industry needs to fucking read the room. We don't want to be reminded of the fact that everyone's fucking divided on here. But if you want to make a political allegory, do it tastefully. Don't shoehorn it into don't shoehorn it into something that's inherently lighthearted or inherently much more fantasy based. Although that doesn't mean that, you know, fantasy stories don't have any room for political allegory or for statements. Like fucking Star Trek is a perfect example. People say it's too woke.
Yeah.
Bitch, Star Trek has been woke since 1964 or 65 or whatever. Are you kidding me?
Remember that amazing speech that Captain Picard made against censorship? God, that was one of the best parts. Fucking love that shit. Remember that episode?
I'm actually looking more at the episode of Picard making a big speech about how fucking political opportunists will use any sort of excuse to monger war and to gain power based on fear.
Yeah.
And he did that because
that's
fucking
a good
Worf
one.
of all people.
So yeah,
actually,
no.
Go ahead.
No, sorry, please go.
Yeah,
this
no,
is
like-
good. You
like-
know about Star Trek more than I do.
Yeah, no,
This is
Worf
great.
was actually saying, like, but Captain, the Federation and their people have enemies. We must seek them out. And Picard very succinctly, like, oh, yes, we certainly do. And that's how it starts. It's easy to point out the villains who twirl the mustaches at us, but it's much harder to point them out when they cloak themselves in good deeds and good intentions. Those people will always be with us, waiting for the right political climate and for the right opportunity to seize power based on fear. I'm not quoting exactly, but I'm like paraphrasing. But
nice.
like that's like the story of like
no,
this,
it was good shit.
like it was basically like this lady going on a witch hunt because they found out one kid who's like a cadet in Starfleet. Oh, he's posing as he was Vulcan, but he's actually like part Romulan. And you know, the Romulan Empire, they're like the modern day boogeyman, sort of like Russian scare, like very evil like Empire guys. So this lady who was a politician, who was a former Starfleet admiral or whatever, she was like, oh my God, we're being infiltrated. We need to arrest this boy and we need to go and find out everyone who supports him, they're clearly in on the conspiracy. You, Picard.
Exterminate!
No, she goes on Picard's like, oh, you are the biggest traitor of them all, Picard, or do you forget the time that you were part of the Borg and you nearly killed Earth? You're just as much a collaborator and a horrible person as this child who just started and he lied about his heritage so he could try to have a better future for himself. Oh, yeah. But
fuck them kids,
like, though. No, like literally that's political allegory. That's fucking stuff about like being about like racial discrimination, about political discrimination, about like political opportunists and shit, and how you need to how we need to be vigilant against that shit. That is proper
That's
good
right.
fucking allegory, and it's well made. Make it within the story and use it as a stand-in for something happening now. The whole
Exactly.
I'm showing my Trekkie on here, so I hope you'll pardon me. But like the whole story of like Deep Space Nine, which is my favorite Star Trek series, is that the planet of Bajor was just coming out of being occupied by the Cardassians, who are like these like lizard guys.
I can't get over that fucking last name.
It's okay. Everyone makes the joke about Kardashians, right? But it's basically, it's literally meant to be an allegory of like the Holocaust. Like these guys, these guys are space Nazis, space fascists, and Gul Dukat, he's like the worst because he's a self-deluded nutball. And the Bajorans are like, they have their spirituality that kept them together, and they resisted and they fought them off. So the whole story like is about them trying to like come out of being an occupied, failed state and standing on their own 2 feet again. Like that's like an overarching thing. And of course, like the Cardassians are like the ever-present danger of these guys coming back and trying to attack. And like this kind of ideology will never go away as long as these people still try to fight for it. That's a fucking allegory against like fucking racial discriminations, against eugenicism, against like fascism and shit. And you can do that and do it well. Like God knows you got to give the fucking guys on Star Trek Discovery points for trying to do it right on their series. People can have their fucking opinion about it all you want, but the fact of the matter is they haven't actually changed their tune. They're still woke as fuck, just as Star Trek was in the beginning. Star Trek is going to remain being woke as fuck, but it does it
because
better
the
than anyone else.
Is good.
It does it better than anyone else does. Fucking hell.
Yeah, because the writing is good. And guess what I didn't find anywhere in this script, Mr. Arauz?
What?
A single scrap of good writing.
Same
All
here.
I see, like, remember in 2000 when Underworld came out?
No.
Remember when Underworld came out?
Oh wait, no. Oh, Underworld came out in 2003, didn't it?
My bad.
We're
Remember
talking about the vampires and the lichens, right? Kate Beckinsale?
Yes. And
okay.
Yeah, and suddenly everything was covered in dark blue hues, and every single movie had people dressed in black leather. The Matrix didn't help that matter.
I was gonna say, like, you got to go back to 1999. The Matrix did that one, but you know what?
Yeah, you remember how it basically gave forth to a wave of edgy 2000s. Well, for lack of a better term, there was an attempt to make everything more mature by basically dressing the whole thing in black leather. That's kind of what I'm getting here. The difference is the Matrix and Underworld at least try to do their own thing. The reason why this whole shenanigans has disgusted so many people is not just because it's exactly that. You are taking something that was beloved and well known and trying to dress it up as grown up by removing all the charm and lightheartedness of it and replacing it with cold, cruel cynicism. People don't want that. No one wants that. Let's get one thing straight here. The Powerpuff Girls could be incredibly fucked up and creepy. There are some episodes there that will give you goddamn nightmares. There are some episodes where the violence is so brutal, it makes you wonder, okay, how did Cartoon Network allow this shit to pass? There were episodes that were shoutouts to Akira, and there were levels of body horror that if it wasn't in a cartoon, that shit would be rated R.
Like, I remember seeing so many different episodes.
Dark and stormy stuff.
Like, I remember seeing so many different episodes where, like, the bad guy gets beaten and you see them covered in welts, bruises, bleeding out the nose, teeth coming out through the opposite nostril, stuff like that.
Flying out. Shit was wrong. Remember that episode where the girls went? Remember that episode when the girls went so fast that they traveled forward in time to a reality where him took over the world?
I remember that and it was horrifying.
It was genuinely one of the scariest episodes in the series.
And isn't him also supposed to be a giant shout out to Dr. Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror Picture Show? By the way, except he's a crab monster gay demon guy. They got so much shit past that radar.
All we know is that he's called him. They got a lot of shit and a lot of jokes that, sadly enough, would not fly today. There was a lot of really good adult shit that they snuck in there for the grown-ups in the audience.
You're going to love it. It was one, the girls make friends with a new classmate or whatever, and they introduce him to their dad. Like, this is our father.
I know that one.
And this is our father, Professor Utonium. Oh, thank you for having me over, sir. He created this in a lab by accident. And the girl's like, and the father's like, yeah, hi. Oh, well, what can I say? I love my daughters. And the girl's like, it's okay. My parents say I was an accident too. And he goes, stone face.
Beat.
And they got so much credit.
Yeah,
that's the radar.
that was some good ageless stuff. And yeah, no, the point is the show, and I can't believe I'm saying this again, had good balance. There was action episodes, comedy episodes, drama episodes, scary episodes, sad episodes, funny episodes. It was the entire gamut of a good show in between. Hell, funny thing is, the one that I remember the most was the one they liked to show up during the Halloween specials, where they fought the Boogeyman.
Wait.
Boogeyman. Yeah, it was basically a disco Dan from the Line of Nightmares, and fucking Silent Hill erupted.
And they fucking recreated the end of Star Wars Episode 4. Because he has a giant disco ball blocking out the sun.
Yeah, and guess what? The episode was about Bubbles learning to overcome her fears with her dad gave her the inspiration. Oh, hey, look at that. A different aspect to the character while still maintaining the core tenets of what makes their personality. Who fucking could have thought of that shit?
Apparently. So we're not allowed to do that anymore.
So if several years ago we are able to get all of this character into these characters to make a nice multifaceted show that everyone can enjoy, why are we doing this here? This show is bad not because it tries to do something different. It's bad because it is so much less than the original. You are literally taking pieces of it until only the dark and the cynical remains, with no funny or joy in between. Then slap a nice coating of outdated jokes, a bunch of changes that make the characters look worse than before, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it now. The fight scenes are probably going to look like shit too.
I've got something for you.
And now Juan activated King Crimson, and he's just skipping to fucking space. Your body has become frames, my dude.
Oh, on my Zoom thing. Here, give me a second. Let me just do this for you real quick. As it's up.
Thank you for your patience. We appear to be experiencing some brief...
No, it's just on you. Remember, Angel, I have a webcam, like a standard little regular webcam, so that you can see me when we talk, but I'm using our main camera to show me on the show. So is this better?
Okay, let me check it out. Okay, that's a lot better now. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. I was letting you speak, and I was trying to remember something like, wait a minute, there's a thing. Oh, yeah, there's definitely a thing. You know, it could have been a much better basis for a reboot or some sort of recontinuity of the Powerpuff Girls. Say it with me, that? Angel. You know the answer to this. Powerpuff Girls Z.
You know what? Yeah. No. Yeah. A lot of people complain about the show, but ultimately it was kind of just inoffensive. It came and went, and it ultimately was seen as just, oh, hey, the Japanese gave it a try. I don't see why not. Give it to a studio that likes to do wacky, out-of-the-way animation like Trigger or something, and just slap and dash nice dose of that usual Japanese humor. Put in a good, decent... we could do that.
Get honestly, the original voice I would be 100%
down
the girls,
for,
right? Like, wait,
for Powerpuff Girls Double Z. I would be 100% down for that. Just bring it back.
No, like, the more to the point, like, no, if you want to try and do something fun and wacky here, go ahead and try to take your live action element and try to do this. See how far that carries you. I want to see, which would be, because it would be fucking hysterical. It would be fucking hysterical. It would be fucking crazy.
You can't be ashamed of your source material. You gotta lean on that shit because the audience can tell. The audience is not stupid, you know?
I can actually tell you why folks were probably pissed off about Powerpuff Girls Z is because of this. I'm actually reading the fucking plot summary here for you. The explosion of Chemical X becomes Chemical Z when Professor Utonium's pet dog, whose name is Peach, or no, it's actually what do you call it? It's a toy dog that his son Ken Kitazawa drops in. Accidentally adds a drop of Daifuku, which is mochi, which is mochi filling.
And makes it. It turns that into Chemical Z. Anime.
So Chemical X plus mochi filling makes it into chemical Z, and that explosion causes 3 regular 13-year-old girls, like 13-year-olds, and turns them into Hyper Blossom, Rolling Bubbles, and Powered Buttercup.
I forgot that was the names.
So
honestly, what you're telling me already sounds more interesting than what I'm listening.
So you know what? That is still a better interpretation of Powerpuff Girls than this shit is.
Yeah, I mean, say what you will about the differences, and there were differences, but ultimately they try to do their own thing while still relying on the actual faithfulness to the original. They weren't going around saying, yeah, this is the real Powerpuff Girls. Fuck that other shit over there. Who gives a damn? That's just garbage. Outdated as fuck. This is the real deal. We are now serious. We only play dark games for grown-up gamers, such as ourselves.
But here's another thing on there, Angel. We're once again reading more. Like we're actually going from this is insulting the original source into reading more and adding more to it than is actually being presented.
To be fair, though, we only have 1 episode's worth of script to work with. It ain't exactly much to do, but what we're seeing is not exactly filling me with confidence. I mean, bro, if you were a producer and somebody showed you that script, what would your reaction be? Like, you're in the office and somebody goes, bro, time to revolutionize TV, and they just plop that garbage in front of you. Please tell me one reaction you wouldn't have that wouldn't just toss that shit away and toss that person clean out the window.
I would look at it and very simply like, no, what the fuck is this? Just fucking no, man.
Are you trying to insult me? And well, if it's any consolation, just no fucking no was pretty much the overall 100% reaction of the audience. So I'm happy to know that ultimately this has no defenders. In fact, I can honestly say that in the entire time I've been on the internet looking at the leaks and information about this script, not a single positive reaction has been seen. Everybody has unilaterally come together to shit on this one thing. Everyone. It's beautiful.
And I wholeheartedly agree. This is a travesty to fucking go through. It's a fucking piece of crap script. The only thing that I wanted to try to do is to get everyone to like chill about the whole element of the whitewashing line and actually try to read context and actual fucking nuance on there, because it's so much worse than just, oh, they made the black characters white in the cartoon and that makes the cartoon even worse. No, it's also personality whitewashing and like shit like that. I'm not going to go back into that whole speech. The point is, doesn't that mean that they are actually being whitewashed in the show because their personalities have been reduced to their most cynical and darker aspects while taking away everything else? No, but just understand, this makes them so much cooler. It makes them so much edgier.
Bro, it's so deep. The deep burn. Oh, so deep. Mariana Trench levels of deepness.
That's pretty deep,
in
man.
This
I'm just like,
bruh.
I'm just grabbing like my nearest staple. I'm just like, I need a reason not to make it click. I can't. I have to make it click, man.
Good morning, gamers. Today's challenge is finding a reason to keep on living. Cut to like the fucking theme of guts.
Ugh. Fucking hell. Like,
just wow.
That just makes me wonder, like, okay, as far as the actual production goes, since I do follow these girls, I follow them on Instagram before all this started, because yes, I'm a dumbass like that, especially Chloe Bennett, because I like her work and she's damn good. I'm over here thinking to myself, okay, there must have been a stupid amount of money being thrown their way to agree to these roles the way that it was presented, or they must have pitched the roles of Blossom Bubbles and Buttercup to these actresses, to Yana Peralta and Dove Cameron and Chloe Bennett. They must have pitched it to them in some brilliant, magnificent, big, beautiful way of how making these ladies so much more complicated and so much more in-depth and intense makes it so much better, and you're going to love it and you're going to be so good at this. Either that, or they had a stupid amount of money thrown their way.
Can you imagine Can you imagine being told, hey, remember that really good cartoon, The Powerpuff Girls? Would you like to be the Powerpuff Girl?
Like, wait,
that
what?
that show was very well liked by pretty much everybody. Dude, that shit was loved by almost everybody. So I imagine if you were an actor worth your salt and somebody told you, "Hey, would you like to replace the part of of characters loved by millions
Well,
and
not
seen
replace,
worldwide
portray.
in one of the best portray the part of one of the best of some of the most beloved characters in Cartoon Network history? Fucking great." I hope you have enough money to cover the psychological treatments.
Like, okay, the one example that kind of comes to mind here, which for better or worse made money and folks enjoyed, was when they made the live action version of Scooby-Doo. The first one and the second movie.
Oh yeah.
Those are the only ones that I acknowledge. Everything that they tried to make after that was pee-pee.
That was kind of meh.
With Freddie Prinze Jr. as Fred, Sarah Michelle Gellar as Daphne, Linda Cardellini as Velma, fucking Shaggy being played by fucking he's got Matthew Lillard and fucking CG animated Scooby-Doo.
Actually,
they fucking leaned in on that shit and they made it like, okay, one can imagine that when they were talking about pitching the Powerpuff Girls reboot, they were probably thinking of doing what they did with the live action Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah, I could see it.
Except,
in fact, when you think about it, the live action Scooby-Doo did this, but right.
Exactly, because they did the one thing that I prescribed here earlier tonight. They went on the comedic route instead of the dark and grimdark dramatic route. They still had these guys develop, and they still had them become like, oh, we're maturing out of what we had on here, or like we're growing, or our fucking vices are still our life. Fucking, what do you call it? Shaggy is a vegetarian hippie living in Southern California, in California Beach or whatever. Velma, using her brain power, she works for NASA and all sorts of government contractors. Daphne, who's tired of being damsel in distress, becomes becomes a martial arts self-defense fucking guru that shows Sarah Michelle Gellar's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer moves and shit. And Freddie Prinze Jr. Going in as like, he's still being an arrogant ass, and he made a fucking living off of being an arrogant ass, of how I'm so great and I'm so cool and I'm so smart and I'm so leader, that he became a motivational speaker. Be me, but not quite as me, but be like me and you'll like me too, kind of thing. Like, I never thought that he would be that self-aggrandizing, but fucking hell, here we are.
It works because they extrapolate on the characters while still keeping up to the core of their policies. That's why they managed to still get together as a team and solve the mystery at the end, because you can change, but ultimately nobody changes 100%. Can you truly say that you are 100% different from how you were before? You always keep a part of yourself, you know? Mm-hmm. And trying to drive that away, it ends up coming off as just as if they're ashamed of the previous material, as they're trying to distance themselves from it as much as possible while still trying to keep what made it good. And that's not how it works. And I feel like the Scooby-Doo movies, for their flaws, the first two managed to at least retain what made the cartoon better by reminding you that, things change, but things are also more or less the same. You don't change everything about yourself just like that. That doesn't work like that.
No, it doesn't fucking work like that, man. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. I'm fucking done. These guys, they tried to kill me. They tried to fucking kill me. I swear, this fucking...
Not yet.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Just wait until the actual script comes out, then we can die.
No, I refuse. I'm over here deleting shit off of our spam folder on the Raven's Flock email, and I'm just like, if only I could do that with my brain.
If only I could just delete this memory. No, you know what? It's better that way, because if you delete the memories, it will just hurt all the more when the actual show comes out.
Fuck, you're right. You're fucking right. God damn it.
So this was a trial. We needed to endure this pain. And we endured, and I think we managed to endure pretty well for this episode, considering that this is just, remember, they took away this script because it's considered to be too lighthearted and campy.
No!
That was considered too fun to be allowed.
How is this too fun? No, it was fucking stupid.
Nope, too much fun. Gotta remove it. Sorry.
God. Fucking hell.
Pain. Pain, Peckhole.
Despair, even.
Oh, man. Suffering, if you will.
Dread for those such inclined.
For the record, please be aware, we are not laughing because we found that script funny. I'm finding it because if I don't laugh enough, it's going to start to hurt again. That shit was the psychological equivalent of having my goddamn appendix removed all over again.
And this motherfucker's had his appendix removed.
Have you ever had a pain so great it feels like you're going to pass out, but it doesn't let you pass out? That's what this feels like to my eyeballs. I have no mouth and I have to scream.
I have no mouth and I must scream. Oh, God. I guess we're done, right?
Oh, I believe we're done, but be honest with me. Are you just completely disassociated from this, or are you morbidly curious to see what the real first episode is going to be like?
I can't tell one way or another here because I want to believe in the finer points of humanity. I want to believe that they actually took a look at this script and said, it could be better than this. Why are we so adamant on trying to be grimdark? Let's fucking have fun. But experience teaches me.
Remember,
Experience teaches me that no, that's not how this works. That's not how this works at all, Steve. What kind of rap name is Steve? Oh, God.
Steve from the land of Sneed. Shock and socks. Seed.
No, I'm fucking done. Are you fucking done? Because I'm
yeah,
done.
I think I'm done. But tell you what, for the sake of experimentation, if or when the show actually comes out, I will bite the bullet and I will watch the first episode and I will report my findings. If I don't tell you within a week, consider me legally dead.
Oh, Lord. I don't
Somebody
know
has to do it, so I'm going to do it.
I think as a matter of course, we have to actually cover this. Now that we made an episode about the leaked script, we're going to
have to see it now.
We got to watch it.
It is pop culture.
We worked ourselves into a corner. Fuck. All right.
I wonder if Andy ever watched the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, Andy Signor?
I should ask him.
Oh, you better believe he did. He probably most likely did. He was like a teenager or whatever at that time. I don't know. I don't remember how old he is. But you better believe he definitely watched Powerpuff Girls. He already spoke about the script earlier today and yesterday when it leaked.
That's right. I got to check out his video.
So yeah, definitely check out his videos. And he's the kind of homie who you let the ads play on his video. All right? He's that kind of guy.
He deserves it.
He deserves the ad revenue, especially after the shit he's dealt with. Us, unfortunately, we don't have any ad revenue, but if you want to support the Ravens flock, we do have a Teespring store, teespring.com/store/the-ravens-flock. You see it in our opening little card anytime we start a show. Or if you want to just donate to us, we have a Cash App. It's hashtag the Ravens flock. THERAVENSFLOCK. So yes, please. Like, I actually put up a fucking comment on a friend of ours, Liza. She actually read the script as well. Somehow she got a hold of it, and I actually told her I want my money back.
Or Liza.
I understand I never actually paid for any of this, but I feel like I've owed some kind of payback in money. I want my money back.
I demand reparations for this shit.
Like, but you didn't pay anything. Pointless. That is not the point. I deserve money for this shit.
Powerpuff lives matter, damn it.
They do. And like I said, I wasn't even fucking bothered with like, okay, so Buttercup is black and she's gay. Okay, cool. I can live with that. Don't replace one lumping stereotype that they argue about in the script with another lumping stereotype of her being the angry lesbian all the time. Like, no, that's like you want to avoid fucking negative stereotypes one way or another. Yeah, she could be resentful. Yeah, she could be fucking like bitter about the stuff. But the scene that I was telling you about in the beginning with her working as a fucking firefighter, like have more moments of that. Have more moments of her like showing some humanity. Like at the end of it, she may have hated like the exploitation that happened to her as a kid, but she still loved helping people. It doesn't matter like that it was like for a fucking toolery or whatever. She got to use her powers for good. You emphasize shit like that.
But
Am I
no,
wrong
Juan,
here?
you don't understand. No, Juan, you don't understand. We can't access any positive aspects of heroism. The only thing we can do is shit on the past, because anything from the past that makes us look worse cannot be allowed. It's like every time that Disney puts a gay character in a movie, they claim that it's the first gay character they ever use. Over and over and over again. You notice that?
Yeah, I saw that. Clownfish TV share that same thing, dude. I saw the same thing.
Bro, it just keeps happening and it just keeps getting worse.
No,
So all we can do right now is wait and see.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap us up over here. We're done. Our audience
All right,
clocked
go
out forever
ahead.
ago. I'm clocking out. So yeah, no, I guess that's it, folks. Everyone watching, thank you very much for checking out this week's live stream edition of the Black Files, where we discuss the darker and harder discussions and topics of geek culture, of the cosplay community, and of like pop culture. I will host it. I usually host it Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. If there's any other topics that you want us to talk about, feel free to leave it in the comments or message us on our social media. We are everywhere. Don't forget to continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlockOnline, Twitch.tv/TheRavensFlockOnline, and of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell on our flagship platform, YouTube.com/TheRavensFlock, home of the Black Files, Los Amigos Play, Wrestle Rewind, and the Ravens Flock. I'm doing the same thing Jose does, where he got the hand
No.
all out in front of the camera. No. Okay, that's
Firmly
too close.
grasp.
That's too close, man. No. I do that because I care. I care about Jose. He's not feeling well. He's a little under the weather. I hope he feels better.
Oh, I hope it did.
Yeah.
Did the vaccination kick in with some
No,
secondary
something
crap
else.
or
I'll
something?
tell you after. Folks,
okay. I hope he gets better soon then.
yeah, no, so do I.